Thank you. Okay, so this is a continuation of our industry summit with a strong focus on apprenticeships. The idea is here to give manufacturers everything you need to know about setting up an apprenticeship program. We're hopefully give you ideas about how to do that, give you examples of companies that have done it on their own. When I say on their own, working with the U.S. Office of Apprenticeships. But the reason I emphasize on their own is because now we have another way to do it, where we have a program called MechaForce Registered Internship Manufacturing Program, or MRIM, where we can help you out with setting up those apprenticeships. So you'll hear about that today. So for now, I just want to thank and recognize that Manufacturing Talk Radio, and there Lou Weiss in his beautiful yellow jacket is over there. They are taping this program up until about 2:30, and then they're going to, all of a sudden I heard everybody get quiet. And then about 2:30, they're going to break away and do some interviews of some of the participants. So thank you, Lou, for coming and supporting this activity. And then, of course, that what he does tape will be available nationwide on MTR. Thank you. So right now I'd like to, this program really came about by an organization that it's a federally funded organization, Jobs for the Future. And you're going to hear a heck of a lot more about that from our speaker. And that is Geri Scott, who is from that program and is going to give you an opening remarks. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ray, and thank you all for being here. We're very excited to see all these people who are interested in learning more about registered apprenticeship and maybe in developing registered apprenticeship programs at your own companies. As Ray said, my name is Geri Scott. I'm the Director of Apprenticeship Programs, the Center on Apprenticeship and Work-Based Learning at Jobs for the Future. And we are very grateful to NJIT for offering us this opportunity to come and speak with you today about registered apprenticeship. Jobs for the Future is a national nonprofit organization. We're headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, but don't hold that against us. We have programs, we run programs and initiatives funded by large foundations and federal agencies, as well as some state agencies, basically to upskill the workforce, both youth and the adult workforce. In this particular case, we have several grants and contracts from the U.S. Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship. About a year or two ago now, the Office of Apprenticeship, as part of an administrative initiative, was looking for ways to expand this idea of registered apprenticeship. And so they awarded several contracts to organizations like Jobs for the Future to hire subject matter experts, such as the people that are going to be here on our program, Scott Ellsworth, who is our sales and marketing executive on this contract, and Martha Ponji, who is working in your neighboring state, New York. She is the Registered Apprenticeship Director for Manufacturing Association of Central New York. And they're working with us to reach out to employers, to talk to people directly about what would be involved in setting up a program, why registered apprenticeship is a great idea, and how to customize a registered apprenticeship program to the work processes of your specific company. Now, in registered apprenticeship, we all know it's a federal project, it's a federal program. The registered apprenticeship system in this country is pretty convoluted and complicated. And so that was one of the reasons that the U.S. Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship contracted with organizations like Jobs for the Future, because we can work with you to help you get through all the process and all the paperwork in designing a program. And one of the cool things that the U.S. Department of Labor has done as it has thought about how can we expand registered apprenticeship, particularly in small to medium-sized companies that don't have massive human resource departments that can just handle all of these things, or training departments that just handle all of these things. But they have encouraged organizations such as the Manufacturing Talent Summit here in New Jersey, or the Manufacturing Association of Central New York, or sometimes community colleges, or other industry association type organizations, to become the sponsor, and thereby they're the organization that does all the interface with the government on getting things signed up and doing all the reporting and that kind of stuff. And essentially all you as the employer have to do is find the persons that you think need to be trained, and make sure that they get the training, deliver the training to them. So we are very excited that the Manufacturing Talent Network here in New Jersey has become a registered apprenticeship sponsor, and we hope that many of you who are interested in registered apprenticeship will be working with them, and you'll be hearing lots more from them later this afternoon. So why registered apprenticeship? And Scott and Martha will get into that much more in a few minutes. But really, registered apprenticeship is a symbol of the quality of training. A lot of you already have in-house training programs, I am sure, for your workforce, things that you've developed yourselves. But with registered apprenticeship, you know that the training that you are offering is meeting national standards for the skilling of your workforce. It's also a really good way to integrate the technical learning, the classroom instruction, if you will, the theory, with the applied learning. We hear all the time that there are, from manufacturing employers, and please colleges don't take offense, but that the new grads, they have lots of great book learning, but they don't have a clue how to apply that. They really don't know how to work it in the company. Well, the thing with registered apprenticeship is you're getting that same classroom technical instruction, but at that, concurrently with it, for the most part, your workers, your employees, are getting trained in how that theory works, and not only how it works, but how it works in your company with your work processes. And that's a lot different than just sending somebody off to take some courses at the community college or at the college, because in those cases you've got the theory, but you haven't necessarily got the application. So we think registered apprenticeship is a really terrific model for upskilling your workforce. And we're delighted to see so many of you here interested in it. And we hope that today you will learn a little bit about the technicalities involved in putting together a registered apprenticeship program. You'll definitely hear from a lot of folks who are doing registered apprenticeship, who are sponsoring registered apprenticeship, and I hope that you really listen to them and take to heart the kinds of experiences they have had, because that's your peers and colleagues who have entered into this kind of training approach, and ask them why they did it. And then finally today, what we hope is any of you who really are interested in perhaps building a program, Martha and Scott and I will be available to meet with you one-on-one after the formal program to just kind of talk with you about what a registered apprenticeship program might look like and what it would take to start something at your company. So I hope we all have a productive afternoon, and I'm going to turn it back to Ray to introduce Bernie Trummel.